You are now tuned into ChiChat Podcast, where four women come together to encourage, inform, and inspire women by creating a dialogue that develops strong sisterhood and friendship. Around the table is Yolanda, Ebony, Katrina, and Breonna. Okay, now it's time for some ChiChat.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the ChiChat Podcast. I am Katrina, and we're going to start off with our Chick check-in for today. I'm going to start it off with Ebony at the moment.
I'm a 5. I'm feeling good today. I got my little cold shoulders out, so I'm a 5.
You go, girl. How about you, Bree?
I'm feeling good. Rocking my tea. Wake up, pray up, level up.
Right. How about you, Yolanda?
5. Feeling good.
That's all right. I'm at a 5 today. I'm feeling right good. Got my red lipstick on.
Okay.
Just popping.
She a fiery 5. I can't touch her. Too hot.
Well, ladies, we did a show a few weeks ago, and we were discussing living in our truth. And so it got me thinking about, have we always been there? Like, I had to do some self-reflection. Like, I feel like I live in my truth now, but have we always been there? So I kind of wanted to find out, like, I guess my question is, your journey to finding yourself so that you can live in your truth, what was it like for you? So I just got a few questions that I'm going to ask along the way, and we're going to just have a little chit chat about it. So I want to start off with you, Breonna. So when have you ever felt like you lost yourself, first of all?
Yeah, I did. I lost myself in the idea of perfection, trying to be like the perfect idea of a girlfriend or student or whatever. I really got lost in that because a situation happened when I graduated, and I had applied for all these scholarships, and I was just doing everything that you would think by the book, right? And me and this other young lady have the same name. And could you imagine hearing Breonna, but it's not your last name? So for me, it really was a hurtful thing because I was working so hard to get that scholarship. And so I really kind of got down to dumps, like, am I really smart? Am I really qualified? Can I really do this? So I went through that stage, and going off to college, I did actually get counseling and went to therapy because I wanted to be able to fully be confident in myself. I kind of still went to college with low self-esteem because, of course, you're in a bigger pool of people. So, yes, I lost myself in the idea of trying to be perfect.
Okay. How about you, Ebony?
When I saw that question, it took me back to a situation, and what I'm about to say, in no means am I bashing my mom. But I do remember a time where, when I was younger, high school, like 9th, 10th grade, I don't know what happened per se, but I remember her asking me, why aren't you like one of my best friends at the time? She was like, why aren't you like her? Like, you should be more like her. And I'm like, but I'm me, like, what, like, why should I be like somebody else that I'm not, And this friend, she was absolutely, she was a great student, she was a great friend. And even at that time, I remember her looking at me like, why would she say that? Like, even in that, at that age, so I kind of lost myself in that situation because I felt like my mama at that point wasn't accepting me for who I was. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I most definitely did. But and it, for a long time, I was really mad with her for a long time. And it was like some feelings that were like deep inside me. Like, I never let her know that I was mad with her, but I was very upset with her for a long time. And I had to like really pray about that and overcome that, and literally, you know, talk about that in some of my sessions when I went to therapy and stuff like that. Like, because that I felt like that was as a child, as your daughter, I felt like that was like the ultimate like wrong thing to say, you know, in that moment, especially, you know, in high school. Yes, you're still evolving, you're still trying to find yourself, you know what I'm saying? So for you to say that, and then, you know, in that moment of where I'm still growing and really still trying to figure out like who I am as a person, it's like, oh no, you shouldn't be like this, you should be like her, you know. So yeah, most definitely.
Was that-
Did her mic go out?
She go.
You good? Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Did you ever feel like you lost yourself, Yolanda?
Oh, absolutely. During my spousal abuse, I lost myself big time during those periods to where I was involved in domestic violence. So it took me some time because I, you know, during those moments, I felt like I was nobody. I was a big nothing, you know, and so it took me a long time to talk to myself and to let myself know that, hey, that's where the I am worthy come in. That's why I say it all the time, because I felt so worthless. Like, why are you doing this to me? Well, years later, we found out it wasn't about me, you know, so it took me a long time to rebuild myself after those moments. And I had nobody really to talk to because, hey, I was embarrassed. Who am I going to go tell that my significant other is beating me? You know, who would I tell that to? So I've lost myself big time during those moments.
Yeah. And I feel like I've lost myself before. Just in the aspect of being a mom, being a wife, being a friend, being a sister, when you really get a chance to be you, you know, and do you. Because you have to be so many things to so many other people. So I think in that aspect, I do feel like that I lost myself. And y'all, I kind of already hit on the next question I was going to ask. It was there a life-changing event that pushed you into finding yourself, that pushed you into the point where you had to just realize, you know what, this is not me. This is not who I want to be. Like, what was that moment for you guys? Like, anybody?
Well, for me, Yolanda, you felt it?
Yeah, you go ahead, darling.
Yolanda felt it first. But for me, it was actually when it was 2013, and my mom and I and a church friend, we actually went to Heather Lindsay's conference. And at the conference, I made the decision for whatever had happened prior to 2013. In that moment, I was like, I'm going to release it at this conference. And when I go back to North Carolina, I'm going to be a better Breonna. So for me, the life-changing moment was going to her conference, because she said something pivotal. She said, you don't want to leave this place the same. That means you wasted your money. That means you wasted all the preparation to get here. You wanted to come here because you wanted a change and you wanted God to transform your life. And so with that statement, and of course all the other aspects, I walked away changed. And so yeah, that was my moment. 2013, Heather Lindsay, you helped me, girl. You helped me. So
yeah, good for you. I'm excited to hear that. I think I'm it. How about you, Yolanda? You were gonna say something?
Well, so many different things has caused me to look at myself and say, hey, I'm not dealing with that anymore. Something here, first of all, when I turned 40, all bets were off. I don't know what it was with me at 40. First, I was very afraid of it, but then when it hit, I begin to know that excuse me, what I'm not going to do is deal with your BS and your bull. So I no longer, and this is recent, so I no longer try to fit in with a certain set of people. I don't care how nice I am to them. It's like it's always something with me. So you know what? Okay, good riddance. I'll do my thing over here. You do your thing over there. So that was the big, one of the big redefining moments in my life.
Mm-hmm. I've had a couple too, and one of my big ones is I was at a dark place in my life. I had some stuff that was going on, and one day I was just laying there like, Katrina, you got to get yourself up from this. This is not who you are. This is not who you are supposed to be. This is not who God has destined you to be. And so then I hit 40. And that was another big aha moment for me. Now that I'm 40, I had a friend that turned 40 a few months before I did. And she was like, girl, I'm telling you, something happened when you turn 40. And I was like, nah, she just talking. It's just, but she was for real. Like when I turned 40, it's like something in me clicked and was like, you have to live for you. You can't live for everybody else. You can't be the Katrina that everybody else wants you to be. You got to be Katrina for you. And so it's helped me to realize that the strong girl that Yolanda always sees in me, I am that. It's taken me a while to get there, but I'm realizing I'm worthy, I'm strong, and so I'm enjoying getting to know me and getting to do things that I like to do, getting to, go places that I want to go and do me. I'm living in my truth for real now, and it's very exciting. I love it. I am loving. I'm falling in love with myself. And
yes, Katrina. Yes.
It really feels good. I'm about to cry, and I'm trying not to.
And me too, because I am loving it.
It really feels good. And so I just hate that I had to go through so much of whatever, just to get to this point, So how about you, Ebony?
So I kind of, mine came this year, as a matter of fact. Right before my birthday, my 35th birthday, I was having a conversation. I shall not name this person. I was having a conversation with the person, and they kind of said some things that kind of like not really rubbed me the wrong way, but made me understand like who I am as a person and how I should not internalize things that people say to me, because your outlook or how you feel like life is supposed to be, that might work for you, but it's not for me, So we were having a conversation about something. We were talking about being things that you should have like at a certain point in life, which I feel like is BS, okay? Because my thing is this: better late than never, okay? So it doesn't matter, and I say that because my mom, she was searching for love, and she got remarried in her 60s. So at the end of the day, regardless of when it happens, if it's a desire of your heart and it happens, then you're blessed, like, period. You know what I'm saying? So there's not, you shouldn't put a time frame. And that's what I realized, that I was internalizing what people, what their standards were. And so I said, I no longer want to do that anymore. I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to internalize things. And this person, I couldn't not talk to them because this person is in my life, is related to me. So I'm like, I can't like not talk to her. You know what I'm saying? So maybe I should just really just like rid myself of the internalizing what this person's view for my life is, So I decided to not do that anymore, and I prayed about it, and along with like some other things, you know what I'm saying? Like, I first got baptized when I was 12 years old. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I went through a lot of stuff from like 12 to 35. So I just felt like I needed like I need to be dipped again. Okay. So I had to go take the water again. Like, I'm like, I need to take the water again, because with this new like declaration, I'm telling God that I don't want to have this outlook or have people pretty much like try to run like my life how they feel like it should be ran. Let me go take the water so that way I can just leave it there. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I did. And it was February 29th, 2020 when I got rebaptized again. And that was the best decision I felt like I could have ever made. And one of the reasons why I feel like I'm still able to be covered and standing today with everything that's going on, you know, like since everything has been going on, I have not been out of a job. I have not been sick, anything. Nobody in my family, immediate family has been sick. So, you know what I'm saying? And not saying that, you know, God is still not with you if you get sick, because he is, but I just feel like that extra covering was because I said, God, this is what I want to do. And, you know, and I made that step to restore my faith and everything. And, you know, it's been good ever since. I can't even complain.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So my question, what type of things did you do to help you in your rediscovery mode? Like to help you in your rediscovering yourself or finding yourself? Like, did you have to date yourself? Like, I don't know, because for me, I'm a thinker, like, and I sit back and think a lot. So I just sit back and think, like, what does Katrina like? What do you want to do? Where do you want to go today? So do you have to date yourself? Did anybody have to, like, date themselves? Or what kind of things did y'all do? What you do, Breonna?
One of the main things I did was that I journaled. That's one of I have about 5 journals that can date back to that time frame I discussed with you all. And so that was one key thing. The second key thing was I actually tried new things. Like I went to Zumba, I tried knitting. You know, I really started to tap into something different. So journaling and just exploring new ideas is what I did.
Okay. I'm taking that note. I might have to take that down because I'm still getting to know me. Yeah. How about you, Yolanda? What did you do to find yourself? I know one thing that you did. You answer you.
Yes, that's one thing. But I would tell myself over and over again just how special and how beautiful I am, not just on the outside, but the inside. And so I had to remind myself that I have a purpose, and I need to take all that happened to me, everything, all of it, no matter how painful, no matter how disappointing, no matter how embarrassing, I had to take it all. Be transparent with it, with everybody and myself, and then use that to help others. That's how I got myself better. This is where everything I do comes from. You know, so that's what I did. Instead of holding it in, and I did counseling. I still do counseling. Shout out to my counselor, by the way. But counsel, and I just have to talk to myself and tell myself that I am worthy. I am loved and I matter. Mm-hmm. Every day.
So those daily affirmations really do help. And I try to do one every day. It's a real long one though. But I have it taped to my desk. So when I get to work, I do that affirmation every day. If I don't do it when I first get there, some point throughout the day, I come across it and I'm like, you know what, girl, you beautiful. You are worthy. You matter. Yeah. You beautiful inside and out. And I go through my affirmations every day. So I kind of think that's one thing that helps me. How about you, Ebony?
I'm like right there with y'all. I do affirmations. Y'all know I love my quotes. I give myself a pep talk like in the morning. And just like Breonna said, I have a journal myself. And it says faith. And I write in my journal every morning and every night because I like to go back and read and see what my mind frame is like in the day, and then after I went through the day, and then see what it is like at the end of the night. And I pretty much just write like what I'm feeling because I'm not like a type of person. Sometimes I don't get my thoughts out. Like I can't articulate my thoughts well, you know. And it's so weird because I read like the characteristics of an Aquarius, and that was one of our characteristics. Like you don't articulate your thoughts well because we shut down a lot of times. But But yeah, like, you know, I find myself, I'm able to better articulate like what I'm feeling and what I'm thinking, like when I write it down. So I most definitely, I do that. I tap into my journal, and then, you know, like Katrina said, self-affirmations and stuff like that. So yeah.
All right. So now, with all that being said, and all the finding of ourselves that we have, we've all found ourselves, and we, you know, trying to get back to being us. What now that we've found ourselves, what keeps you from slipping back into that same mentality of being who somebody else wants you to be? Anybody? What keeps you grounded? What keeps you from going back to the same old? Breonna?
It's two things for me. It's the fact that I know God brought me out of that, and there is a scripture in the Bible that says that you don't go back to your vomit. It's like a dog doesn't go back to their vomit, because it's basically saying, why would you eat the very thing God delivered you from? Like, why would you do that? And I mean, it happens. Like, not saying it would never happen, but that's something that helps me to say, you know what, Bree, you were there, you know what that feels like, but now that you're out of that, you got to keep striving. So basically, like y'all said, that self-affirmation, that self-reminder. And another thing is, people are watching. I've actually had people to come back to me and say, you know, because of what you posted or because of our conversation, I'm at this level. And so it's like, for me, what I gave to somebody else is a reminder, like, God is downloading some things to you, and you can, but you can't go back. You can't go back because too many people, they on your shoulders. You just can't go back. So
yeah. What about you, Ebony?
And let me just piggyback off Breonna real quick, because I remember, I think it was before we even started this podcast, me and Breonna became friends on Instagram, and I remember one night she was dropping straight gems on Instagram, like she was talking about business and stuff, and I remember I was on that live, and I'm like, girl, yes, like she was just like, she made me feel so good, like, you know, with all the business knowledge and stuff that she was putting on Instagram. So most definitely, Breonna, I just had to shout you out, because I remember that night, like verbatim. Like, I remember that night.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I remember Ebony being up there.
Yes. Ask me the question again. I forgot. I just got so excited thinking about it.
All right. So now that you found yourself, what keeps you from slipping back into that same mentality of being what someone else wants you to be?
Okay, so you know what? This might sound weird. I might sound like a weirdo, but when I take pictures, I remember the mental space that I'm in when I take pictures. I don't know, it's the weirdest thing ever, but I can go back in my phone of all the pictures that I have, and I can remember the mental space. I can remember like how I was feeling at that time of taking those pictures, you know? Mm-hmm. So when I go back and look at those pictures, it's like I can remember like what was going on around that time, you know? And also, kids, when you have kids, they watch you. When you think they're not watching, they watch you. And you know, London, I promise you, I say it all the time, he's been here before, because he can read me very well. Like, that little boy can read me like nobody else, literally. And it's like he knows when something is not right, or he knows when, you know, he just knows. I don't know, it's that intuition, I guess, that he got, which I'm so glad he has that. Sometimes I'm just like, just go somewhere, but but you know, the fact of him watching me, and then when I go back and I look at pictures and stuff, because I'm always looking for ways to like make myself better, even in this space that I'm at now, where I feel like, you know, I'm a lot better than I was before, but I don't want to get content, because when you get content, that's when you fall back into old habits and old ways of thinking and all that stuff like that. So I try not to do that. So it just, you know, that's what helped me. And also pouring into him as well. You know, I made him a motivation box last year at the beginning of school, for the school year. And, you know, I would put like little motivational quotes and stuff in there for him, and affirmations and stuff. So me pouring into him, having to pour into him watching me, and of course, like me going back and looking at my pictures, that's what keeps me grounded.
That's good. I like that. How about you, Yolanda?
I concur with both Ebony and Bree. I just the reminder. I remind myself how I felt during those moments. I remind myself how when my husband walked out on me, that's one area where I was at one of my lowest, and I had to pull myself back from that. And so I remember feeling my heart break inside of my chest. I remember when I wanted to be a part of the crowd, and for some reason, it's something about me, the odd girl out. It's always something about me, so I'm like, forget them and him and whatever. I just go back and I remember how I felt, and I'm not going to go feel that way. So that's what keeps me going. And then the same lines with what Ebony was saying, she's a mother. I too am a mother, and especially for Leigh. My daughter is watching every single thing that I do. And so if I do the very thing that I'm trying to teach her not to do, then I'm a hypocrite. I have to be able to tell her and show her the way to do it. Right. And so, and my daughter is watching, and so I'm teaching her how to be a woman. So I'm not going back to bullcrap. Yeah. So that's how I stay grounded and stay good. In a good place.
I'm taking notes because I just got here. I've just got here, so I'm taking notes. But I do concur with what you said, what y'all said about your children watching, and so that's always been a big thing for me, is that I know my children are watching, and I want to live. Not saying that I gotta be perfect, or I try to be perfect for my kids or my children, but I want to live a life that they can, sit back and say one day, I never saw my mom do X, Y, and Z, and I don't want to do X, Y, and Z because she didn't do it. Or especially like my girls, I want them to be able to say, my mom was a strong woman, and so when different situations or different aspects of their life, they can know how to be strong or get through things because they saw me come out on top. And so thank y'all. Y'all have really helped me today. I'm taking these notes in, these little nuggets. I like it. I think we're gonna close out here because it can get kind of deep in here a little bit, and I want to start with the waterworks. So I'm gonna just go on to our next segment, which is the Sister Girl of the Week. Now, y'all, I found this lady on YouTube by accident. I don't know. She just popped up on my feed one day, and I was like, let me click on her and see what she all about. Her name is Latasha Lee. She's a Black singer from Texas. She's out of Texas, y'all. You gotta go and check her out. She has this old school sultry vibe to her voice, very authentic, and I don't know much about her. I just know that I listen to her every day since I checked her out last week? I don't even think it was this week. Just checked her out and fell in love with her already. So y'all go and check her out on YouTube. Her name is Latasha Lee, Lee. Check her out on YouTube. And with all of that being said, we're going to close out today with our word of the week, or our words of inspiration for the week. And I'm going to let Ebony start it off.
So my word of the week, I'm going to say revelation. Revelation is going to be my word of the week. If you are watching and you're going through something, I hope that you just have a revelation in your life where you say, you know what, this is it. I'm going to change for the better. Just have like that aha moment, like, just to move on for the better.
Okay. I'm going to go because I'm piggybacking off of you. My word is reminisce. And I was saying reminisce because I just want people to think back to where you were 5 years, 10 years ago, and where you want to be 10 years from now. So reminisce back on your past and see where you are now and where you want to go. Reminisce. Brianna?
Well, since we flown with these R words, I'm gonna say reflection. There was a movie, I know y'all know the Disney Channel movie Mulan. And I always love that song, and it says, "When will my reflection show who I am inside?" And so for me, that is a very good word to tell everybody. Go in the mirror right now, look at your reflection, and know you're beautiful.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. What you got, Yolanda girl?
Well, I love the R words, but I'm gonna stem away from it and say tug. Pull and tug. You must pull on your strength. It is the most difficult thing to do sometimes when you're going through hell, but it's in there, okay? Never, ever, ever feel like your strength has left you, because it hasn't. Matter of fact, the more you go through, this is me talking, this is personal experience, the more hell you go through, the bigger your strength is. So I want you to be willing and ready to pull and tug on that strength.
There you have it, ladies. That's another episode of the ChiChat Podcast. Check us out. Love y'all. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to our episode of ChiChat. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at ChiChat Podcast.